Good morning. Good morning. How y'all feel this morning? Good morning. How y'all feel? Good morning. That's what I want to know. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all feeling here this morning? Good morning. How y'all feel? How y'all feel this morning? I know y'all get tired of me saying that. Like, how you feel? I really want to know. I really, truly want to know how you feel. Y'all can't really say nothing to me. Did you hear me? Y'all really can't say nothing and respond back to me. But for whatever reason, I believe I have the skill set and the talent. And if you just say, I feel good, or I feel bad, I can feel y'all through this entity. I can feel y'all. Y'all don't even know I can feel y'all through here. How y'all feel this morning? How y'all doing? How you feeling? Y'all know what day it is. Today is the 11th, Wednesday, October 11th already. Almost half of the month is gone already. So I just came by here this morning to chop it up with y'all, give y'all a little pointer. Did you hear me? Just give you a little pointer. Just a pointer. Nothing major this morning. Because I can tell you this. If you don't desire, from a holistic perspective, if you don't desire freedom from a holistic perspective, then would you even really ever have freedom? That's a good question, right? I just want to know if y'all understand what I'm saying. I just want to know. Do you really understand what I'm saying? Because I believe it has to be a deep desire, a deep want, a deep need. And y'all see I put your mind in quotation marks. And what I'm discovering about this whole thing called freedom, freedom ain't free. Hey, did y'all hear what I said? I say freedom ain't free. Freedom come with a cost. I said freedom come with a cost. It really and truly does. And so this morning, as I come late, I apologize to the universe already. in advance that I woke up. It was 8:09 when I woke up. 8:09 when I woke up and I looked at the clock and I said, okay, I still got another hour. For whatever reason, I laid there and closed my eyes, I guess, real tight. And I went back out of it, y'all. And then when I woke up again, it said 9:45, like 9:47. That's what it said, 9:47. I'm like, man. And then here I go scrambling, you know what I'm saying? Like here I go scrambling so I can try to get myself together enough to come and stand before the mind of the people. And so I'll just be giving y'all sometime a little rundown of the things that been happening or the situations that be occurring. And it's all design. It's all by design. One thing that I can come here this morning to, and briefly in time, to tell somebody is that freedom ain't free. I promise you it's not. I said freedom is not free. I said, I promise you it is not free. That in order to have true freedom, freedom comes through the freedom of your mind, the freedom of your thoughts, the freedom of no longer existing based on boundaries, borders, and limitations. And I believe that this world is already set up to not have you free, that we are literally modern day, I don't want to say that word, but if we're not careful, we can become bound by our minds. Did you hear what I said? I said we can become bound in our thoughts. And I see it around me all the time. I'm back on my my pineapple juice this morning, 100% pineapple juice. Got that bromelain and all that other good stuff in it right now to kind of help me. But yeah, so as I sit here this morning, and as I stand before the universe's children, I came here with a brief message in time to tell somebody on the sound of my voice. Freedom comes with a cost. Freedom is not free. It comes with a cost that you're going to have to pay in order to get to the point, in order to get to your fullest potential. You're going to have to pay something along the way. And so I'm here this morning to tell somebody that freedom is not free. Freedom actually comes with a cost that you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to put the work in. I can't sit here and tell you, hey, look, be free. No, there's a certain level of work that has to attach to the whole potential of being free. And so it is the freedom of your mind. It's the freedom of your thoughts. It's the freedom that no longer hinders your cognitive ability in order to press towards past that boundary, that glass ceiling, if you will. It might be a glass ceiling that keeps you covered. You can see through it, but you can't break. And so I meet people all the time see people all the time that's all around me that really is not free. Their physical body might be free. And of course, they're not incarcerated. They're out in the free world, but they're not free. They're not free because they're bound by their thoughts. They're bound by the pains of the past. They're bound by all of these psychotropic incidences. They're not coincidences. They're incidences that have happened. They really truly happen in life. And I can tell you this, that you allow these incidences to continue to happen. And every time an incident happens, it gives you another layer of boundness. It gives you another layer of being captivated. And so in your mind and your thoughts, you enslaved by your thoughts and your memory and your mind, your cognitive ability. You're enslaved by it. And so I'm here this morning as your thought-provoking specialist. I'm here this morning as on assignment. Tell somebody on the sign of my book, you're going to pay a price. There's a price to pay for freedom. Did you hear me? I said there's a true price to pay for real, true freedom. There's a price that you're going to have to pay. You know what I'm saying? In order to be free. So my mind ticked past this element right here. My mind ticked past this dimension right here, that the dimension by which we're in right now, as we look and as we endure and as we comprehend and as we become aware and as we understand and as we move forward and as we do all these things in this dimension right here is what it is. Maybe we can't have freedom right now. Maybe we don't have freedom. Maybe we'll never really truly experience freedom until we're no longer in this avatar, but I don't want to go there this morning. Maybe that is the true essence of freedom. Maybe freedom come through death. I don't know. But y'all know my mind ticked past this dimension. And I have been called and commanded to open up the laptop and talk to the minds of the children. And so my mind is elaborate. Hey, look, I believe I have an elaborate mind. I've also believed that I have a resilient mind. I operate with a spirit of resiliency. And so no matter what has came my way throughout this thing called life, it has knocked me down several notches. I just believe that I have the wherewithal and the power to change my mind and actually forgive folk. Some people harbor some people just harbor hate in their hearts. Ooh. I say some people harbor hate in their hearts. And I need to write that down. Say some people harbor hate in their hearts. Some people just harbor hate in their heart. And they walk around festering, allowing hate to fester. I say they walk around allowing hate to fester in their hearts. So I don't know if I've ever been that way. But one thing I do know is that I asked the universe years ago to change my heart. Because I don't know if I ever harbored hate in my heart. But one thing I do know is I didn't like people. So I didn't like people, y'all. People are people, nothing more, nothing less. But I really didn't like people. I never really liked people before. I always just sat back and just watched people move, and how they move throughout this thing called life is sometimes not good. And I picked up on that about 9, 10, 11. Early on in my life, I really just watched people and how they move throughout this thing called life. And sometimes their movement is not good. And so I don't know if I was ever been a person that harbored hate in my heart. I believe that I was not. All I did was recognize the movement of the masses. Ooh-wee. That's another one. See, I recognize, I could recognize the movement of the masses. Y'all see all this stuff? You see how this stuff? Recognize the movements of the masses. All this stuff come to me like this here as I talk. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a reason why the universe called me to talk to y'all, man. I'm telling you. When I tell you my mind just opened up and just is free enough to receive and comprehend and then have an interaction with a higher source or a higher being, superior being. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm not bound by, thoughts. So I'm not bound by my mind. I'm not bound by past memories. I'm not bound. I don't think I ever been bound by it. I think I'll only be bound by it when I'm going through it. But after that part is over, I clear my slate and move on. That's what I have the ability. I think that's a gift, y'all. I think that's a talent. To have the ability to recognize the movements of the masses and see, not look, I don't want to go that direction with them. I'm not going with the majority of the people. Sometimes I think the universe has called us to go against the grain in our thoughts, in our mind, and our mindset shifts. And we have to shift our thoughts from the masses and going against with the masses going down this big, massive road of destruction to going against the grain, coming across. Because the majority of people are just going a one way. And I believe that we've been called here in the Hourglass Era to maybe we have to go against the grain of this world system, and this situations and these circumstances that has allowed us to be, on this big wave of seemingly destruction. And so I'm here this morning to tell somebody on the sound of my voice, freedom come with the cost. And I'm here to ask you a question. Do you have what it takes to pay for it? Ooh. I say, do you have what it takes to pay for the freedom that you gotta pay for? It gotta be free. That's not free. That's freedom come with the cost. So you gotta see, do you have what it takes to go and do the inward work, to do the self-development, do all the internal perspectives, do the shadow work. One time for Monsieur. She's always talking about shadow work to the point I had to go and Google. I had to go in deep and go in. I haven't had a session yet, but at the same time, I understand the concept of doing shadow work on yourself. And you go all the way back to your kid stages, and you go all the way back to when you was first born into this earth, and you came into this the diaspora. You came into the metaverse. You came into the universe at a time, at a season. season of time, a month, a day, and a year, even having a zodiac attached to it. So at this moment, I don't think that I have the ability to ignore your zodiac. So even in therapy, I want to know what's your zodiac, because I think that it's going to have a generalized reasoning to why the temperament that you operate from is that way. And remember, he told us years ago. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Years ago. I don't been on this thing almost a year now. October 15th, a few days from now, will make a year that I've been speaking into the minds of the people. But I can tell you this: that zodiacs plays a factor in that person's temperament in the earth. A zodiac, yeah. If you're a Taurus, if you bullheaded and real stern and you know what I'm saying, stoic and don't really have you and don't have flexibility because you so yeah. I think that zodiacs plays a temperament, a part of your temperament and your personality type. So now I include zodiacs in therapy. Yeah. I want to know. I want to know all of it. I want to even know your blood type, because blood types play a factor too. You didn't know that it's a certain blood type in the four out of the four that they blood reset in the morning, in the wee hours of the morning, so it wakes them up. A lot of people think it's sleep apnea. No, it's not sleep. It's just the fact that your blood, you cannot sleep through the reset. Did you hear me? I say sometimes you don't have the ability to sleep through your reset. And so now it causes you to wake up about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. You wake up, you're gonna stay at about 5:30, 6, because your blood is resetting. And so during that time, you cannot sleep through the reset like A positive blood people can. We can sleep through our reset. I can't remember exactly what blood type, so I'm not really want to tell you. But yeah, when your blood reset overnight, it wakes you up. And so that plays a part, because sleep deprivation is real. I said sleep deprivation is real. You don't get enough sleep for about a week and see what happened to you. You get nervous, you get thrown off, your circadian rhythm is off. And so, yeah. And so I include all those entities. So I'm here this morning to tell somebody on the sound of my voice, it's the freedom of your mind that really genuinely and organically causes you to be free. You have to be free in your mind. If you are held by any bondage, if you've held by any baggage, if you've been held down by any situation or incidences or financial collapses or tragedies in your past, I can tell you this: if you hold on to it, I tell you, if you hold on to your past pains, then I guarantee you will never be able to operate into freedom, not true freedom. And so I'm here, and I'm here on assignment, and I'm here to tell the world that freedom ain't free. You heard I said ain't. You know, I could be all sentimental and saying and grammatically correct and isn't, saying ISN with apostrophe T. Come on now, don't get all out of that. No, don't do me like that. Do not do me like that, because y'all know I have, I'm degreed up enough to kind of know how to write an appropriate sentence. Trust me. I wrote 15-page papers every 3 days in order to get a master's degree in ministry from Ohio Christian University. I know how to write. But I'm here this morning to tell somebody on the sound of my voice, are you willing to pay the price to be free? Are you willing to pay a price? Because it comes with a price. Freedom comes with a price to pay. You got a price to pay. And so you're going to have to go in within yourself. Go all the way back in your work and do the shadow work on your thoughts. Do the shadow work in your mind. Do the shadow work in your memories. And come back down through the process. It's almost like I feel like you slinging a mop from side to side. You know, them big, heavy mops. And you in a hallway. That's what I just saw just then. You in a hallway, and it's a big, heavy mop. And you done, got the majority of the water. You got to sling this heavy mop all the way down this hallway from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor, with one side of the wall to the other side of the wall. And you just slinging this heavy mop as you walk down backwards, coming down the back way, backing up, mopping that floor, doing the shadow work and cleaning off all the things that might cause you to be stagnated in your thoughts, in your mind, in your mindset. And so this morning, I am Kendrick B. Davis Sr. I am your thought-provoking specialist. I am your health-conscious coach. I'm your intellectual content creator. I'm your podcast professor. As we walk through this thing together called life. Do I have it all together? Absolutely not. Do you have it all together? No. I say, do we have it all together? Absolutely not. But do we have a desire to do better? Yes. So I'm here this morning just to share the power of your mind is relevant. Weak mind, weak power. Did you hear me? You have a weak mind, you're going to have weak power. You're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a conscious decision. Did you hear me? You're going to have to make a conscious decision. And then you're going to have the ability to do away with procrastination, which is the opposite of making a decision. You know, we're going to have to tend to decide quickly and change our decisions. I say decision making must be done solely by the person involved. I say decision making must be done solely by the person involved. I can't offer you, or make you make a decision. You have to make the decision basically on your own. And if one can easily be influenced by others' opinion, then they can never have a desire on their own. They can never have a desire of their own. And so this morning, I can promise you, I just came by here real brief in time to tell somebody, do the necessary work, my brother. Sis, you heard me? Do the necessary work, my sister. Do the necessary internal work to free yourself from the bondage of your past. Because it will stagnate your present and hinder your future. I said it'll stagnate your present and hinder your future if you don't do the necessary mopping come down the hallway of your mind and mop. Clean. From wall to wall, down the whole entire hall, wipe the whole slate clean. If you're not enduring it at this very moment, if you've endured the mishandling, I don't know, in my spirit, I feel like I'm talking to a woman that got touched inappropriately, and now that one act that violated you causes you to be the way you are right now, because you've never forgiven and you've never walked past the pains of your past, and then you still held on to it based on the fact that it was a hurtful situation. And I understand where you are. I'm not insensitive to the fact that you was violated. I'm not insensitive to that point. I understand it. Not to the point that I've ever endured it, but I understand it. I can improvise and emphasize that point and understand and so yeah, I want to tell my mama thank you. I buried my mom September 5th, 2020. I want to tell her thank you for the covering. She didn't really let us do nothing. So she always kept us covered. My great grandmother, Willie Lee Davis, thank you. Thank you for covering me. Nothing like that has ever happened in my life. That's a blessing. And so all I can have right now for the young lady who I'm speaking to is I empathize with you. But all I can do is tell you, don't hold on to the pains of your past. Somehow or another, you're going to have to do the shadow work in order to be free. You free yourself from the pains of the past. However you got to do it. And however long it's going to take, free yourself. Freedom ain't free. Y'all, I promise you, freedom ain't free. Freedom comes with a cost. You got to pay something for it. You got to pay something for freedom. It might have to come through forgiveness. In order to be free, you might have to pay through forgiveness. Maybe freedom, maybe forgiveness is the monetary resource that has to be paid. Maybe freedom has a value on it. Maybe freedom has this cost or this I don't know, it's like a currency. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe forgiveness is a currency that has to be paid into the marketplace in order for you to walk out of that marketplace with true freedom. Maybe you got to pay through forgiveness, but it comes with a cost. Maybe forgiveness is the cost that has to be paid. Ooh-wee. I hope y'all understand. I hope you comprehend. I hope you walk in the awareness. I hope you walk in understanding that maybe it's a currency that has to be paid through forgiveness in order to free yourself. And so it's the freedom of your mind that causes you to be free. I say it's the freedom of your mind that causes you to be free, my brother. You got to free yourself, sister. Ma'am, sir, if you hold on to it, it's going to drag you down through the mud. So I know everybody have their own set of time that has to elapse before you can actually walk through this forgiveness phase and forgive the person that bothered you, that forgive the person that shook you. So this morning, make sure you're not the person that harbor the hate in your heart. I say, make sure you're not the person that harbors hate in your heart. For some people, harbor it for years and become so bitter. Throughout that harboring, it's a bitter taste in the earth. And they harbor hate in their hearts. And it just be bitter. They walk around with their face crunched up. And so this morning, maybe I had to come by here this morning, this brief couple of minutes in time in comparison to eternity, and tell somebody that it's the freedom of your mind that causes you to really be free. And so use your thoughts, use your memory, clean your slate, get a brand new start in this thing called life. Start over. It ain't too late to start over. Not physically, but psychologically start over. Give yourself what you need in order to become what you want. And so this morning, I just came by here this morning to say, don't allow the pains of the past stagnate your progress. Forgive yourself. Forgive them. I've already forgiven the people that trespassed against me. Because when I discovered, it'll eat me up. It eats me up from the inside out. When I know I did my best, when I know I put my best foot forward, when I know I have put my best foot forward in this thing called life, I really step forward and put my best foot forward in people that's all around me. I put my best foot forward. And you can put your best foot forward in this thing called life and with the person that you love. It could be your offspring. Yeah, you love your offspring. You love your son. You love your daughter. And them be the same very people that would turn back around after you done did all these things for them and then curse you out. This young lady told me that her daughter cussed her out like she was a somebody on the street. I'm like, what? She say, my daughter cursed me out as if I was somebody, another woman on the street that she did not know. Like, wow, that gotta hurt. I didn't tell her that, but in my mind, I said, that has to hurt. To be cursed out by the very child that you changed her pamper, that you brought this young lady into the world, and she turned around at 17 and 18 and 19 years old and cursed her mom completely out. So her mom asked her to leave and get on the door. And when she did that, the young lady jumped on her. She jumped on her mother. Woo-wee. So I hear all type of dilemmas. And people feel comfortable enough to share, because I'm not going to share. I don't share people's name. Y'all will never know who I'm talking about. I'm just saying that I remembered it. And it comes back to me. I'm in the middle of these sessions. It comes back to me, certain things that people said and did and have endured. And so I'm here this morning as your thought provoker. I'm not here just to be on a live or in session. I'm just here because I've been commanded to be here. So let me be free in my thoughts. Let me be free in my mind. Let me be free in my essence. I've done the shadow work already on self. I went back to when I was a kid, a little boy. Because you got to remember something now. It's going to always be a little boy inside the man. And what we have to remember that is there will always be a little girl inside that 60-year-old grown woman. It'll always be a little girl there. And so, yeah. We're going to have to recognize the movement of the masses, y'all. I think we can kind of flow with it just a little bit, but for the most part, we're going to have to go against the grain. I believe the majority of the masses is going a certain way in this thing called Earth. I say the mass of the people is going a certain direction in this thing called life. We're going to have to make a conscious decision in our mind and say, do we want to go down the masses route? Or is it time for the light bulb to go off in our minds and understand that they got us so far hoodwinked and bamboozled that I don't think the masses mindset will be freedom. I think the masses mindset would be like cows going to the slaughter. That's what I just saw. Like they opened up the gate and the majority of the cows were going that way. They were going to the slaughter. They were actually going to their death. But they had no clue. And so we just have to be careful. We have to be mindful. We have to do the mindset shifts. We have to do the necessary internal work. We got to do the necessary development, self-development. We're going to have to do the necessary strategies and have the necessary tools in place in order for us to kind of like chip back the hardness of our hearts. Take a chisel and chip it back, the hardness of our hearts, and kind of get back to the soft part of our hearts. I think this world has desensitized us in so many ways that we could never, I don't think we'll ever be able to bounce back and restore ourselves back to the original. And so this is the way that we have to go. But then I'm telling y'all that it's a certain enlightenment era that's going to pop off in your mind and know that you can't continue to go that route without checking some of the things that they're saying. And when you start checking and you see that it's not right and it's off, we're going to have to believe what we researched. We're going to have to believe what we understand. We're going to have to believe what we found in our research. We're going to have to believe it. As hard as it's going to take, we're going to have to believe it and say, okay, all right, I understand now. I comprehend now. I got it. So I'm here this morning. I say, I'm here. I'm here this morning to tell somebody freedom is not free. That it's the freedom of your mind that causes you to really be free. Be free in your thoughts. I command you to be free in your essence, past the external. all the way down to the core of your being. Be free. Yeah, that shadow work, it has to become a part of your essence. Google it for yourself. Shadow work. Shadow work. Going into your past through your mind and clean up some things while you're back there and work your way all the way up to your present. I say, go. Are you back there in the shadow work? Do all the necessary things that when you get back to your present, that you'll be free to operate in your future with a certain level of freedom. Stagnation will not be attached to it. Procrastination will not be attached to it. Hindrance will not be attached to it. Prevention will not be attached to it. You'll truly be free. And so this morning, I just came through brief. I ain't have much to say. Y'all see, I don't be having too much to say, y'all. All I could do is come in here and talk from my spirit like I've been commanded to do. And I promise you, I leave here so light. I leave here lighter than what I was when I sat down. Maybe talking is a tool. Maybe speaking is a tool to release yourself. Maybe that's why therapy is so relevant in the earth right now. Maybe people have to come through me. And you'll be surprised how many individuals just come and we meet and they say, it just feels like I knew you for a long time. I've heard it throughout my life. Like it just felt like I've known you. And I'm like, well, maybe we met in another dimension. Maybe we met before. Or maybe that's just confirmation that you're a part of my tribe here on earth. When you have a nice, flowy unisons and you have a nice frequency and vibration and energy, but when you first meet this person, they just, both y'all just elaborately just open up and pull the, you know what I'm saying, the curtain back and just kind of like be free enough to talk openly as if you knew this person. That's confirmation. That is that's affirmation that you are that person's, connect. Y'all have a connection throughout this thing called life that will help elevate the aura of both of y'all. Y'all auras will be elevated, caused to, reach your highest potential in the earth. You can reach your highest potential in the earth. You can reach it. You can reach it. I promise you can. And I don't think it's based on financial capacity. I don't think it's based on money. I don't think it's based on monetary gain. We don't want to put monetary values on that, but I don't think it's based on that. Because you can be rich in your essence in the earth. Be rich. Be wealthy in healthy thoughts. Be wealthy in healthy mindsets. Be wealthy. Operating your freedom. Make sure you're not harboring the pains of the past. Make sure you don't harbor the hate in your heart towards that pain. Be careful. Walk conscious. Because we already know hurt people hurt people. I said, we already know that hurt people hurt people. They do it all the time because they're hurt. So they walk through this thing called life hurt. And then they come into your presence and then try to hurt you because they're hurt. That's not fair. Free yourself, soldier. Son, I call freedom over your life. Daughter, I speak freedom over your life. tap into your freedom and be free internally. You're free physically. You're not incarcerated. Maybe you are. Maybe there is a certain level of incarceration in your mind because you're bound by your thoughts. So maybe you are incarcerated. I just want to give you the key. Son, I just want to give you the key. Daughter, I want to give you the key. The key to being free is forgiveness. Ooh-wee. I say the real true key to being free in your mind and in your memories and in your thoughts, the real true key to being free is forgiveness. That just came in my spirit. You're going to have to forgive, soldier. Hey, my brother, you're going to have to forgive her. Hey, my sister, you're going to have to forgive him. Bruh, you're going to have to forgive your father, man. Hey, father, you got to forgive your son. Daughter, you're going to have to forgive your mother. And mother, you got to forgive your daughter. So forgiveness is the key, y'all. I say forgiveness is the key that will unlock the doors to your freedom. Do not harbor the hate in your hearts. Recognize the movement of the masses. Do the necessary work. Do the necessary do the necessary work. So I am Kendrick B. Davis Sr. I am your thought-provoking specialist. I'm your health conscious coach, your intellectual content creator. I'm your podcast professor. I am here on assignment to tell somebody under the sound of my voice, free your mind through forgiveness. I say free your mind through forgiveness. Forgive that person for what they did to you. Forgive them. Walk free. Be free. Create free. Become free. Did you hear me? I say walk free. Become free. Create free. And believe that you're free. And then watch. Watch the doors fly open, my brother. I say watch the doors fly open, my sister. Watch them. Your freedom is right there on the other side of forgiveness. Ooh-wee. I say your freedom is right there on the other side of forgiveness. So I am here Didn't even come here this morning to have this much to say. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I have a forgiving heart. I'm thankful that I can forgive the people. In order for me to be free, I got to walk in forgiveness. And so I forgive anybody that ever trespassed against me. I forgive you, my brother. Sis, I forgive you. Mother, I forgive you. Do you hear me, mother? I forgive you. My biological father, I forgive you, soldier. I didn't even know your name. I ain't never seen you before. But I forgive you. Yeah, I'm free. I'm free. Be free. Create your freedom through forgiveness. That's the key. That's the key, y'all. Forgiveness is the key. Forgive. And you shall be forgiven. I say forgive and you shall be forgiven. Yeah. So I'm Kendrick B. Davis, Sr. I am your thought-provoking specialist. I am here on assignment to tell somebody that freedom ain't free. Freedom comes with a cost. Are you willing to pay it through forgiveness? Forgive them, and you'll be forgiven. So this morning, real brief in time, I told y'all I'm going to give y'all an hour of my conscientiousness, an hour of my spirit that I pour out. I pour my spirit out. That's why you feel it intensely the way you do. It's from a real space. So I'm thankful that I even have the ability to pour my spirit out onto the minds of the people. We are spirit beings having a brief humanistic experience. So I'm thankful this morning that I can share with y'all that forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to your freedom. I said forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to your freedom. It's a price that you're going to have to eventually pay. Forgiveness is the currency that you're going to have to pay in order to have true freedom in your mind and your thoughts and in your memory. And so this morning I have shared, I've came here on purpose. I've came here with pain. I've also came here with power. We know that pain is a prerequisite for power. You can't have one without the other. You cannot, pain is a prerequisite for power. And so if you want to be a powerful person in the earth, you gotta guarantee you something, my brother. I say, sis, I'm gonna guarantee you one thing, that in order to have power in this thing called earth, you must endure pain. It's a prerequisite for power. And so I'm here this morning. I'm here to help us walk through this thing called life together. I say I'm here this morning to help us walk through this thing called life together. So whoever hear this session and understand it and comprehend it, that means it's for you. That means it's for you. So I'll feed you. I said, I'll feed you. I'll feed you out my spirit. Have mercy on us. Creator of all things. I say, creator of all things, open up the window of understanding for the minds of the people. I say, open up the window of understanding for the minds of the people. We can understand that forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to our freedom. So I'm thankful this morning. I have the ability to share. I say, I'm thankful this morning that I have the ability to share. Y'all be blessed. I speak nothing but peace and blessings over the minds of the people. I say, I speak nothing but peace and blessings over the minds of the people. Thank y'all for chiming in with me this morning. I say thank y'all for chiming in or tapping in with me this morning. It's always a privilege to stand before y'all, give y'all a part of me. Give y'all a part of me. This is a part of me. So I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful for just being obedient to the call that's upon my life, to open up the laptop and talk to the minds of the people. So I'm here 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday in the 9 o'clock hour. I say I'm here 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday in the 9 o'clock hour. Hotep, hotep, hotep. Y'all be blessed. And I'll definitely see y'all again tomorrow.